It was only a matter of time. Like, how long can you keep ignoring the truth? And how long can you keep talking about what Donald Trump did in the past? It was only a matter of time before reality started to sink in. And what I'm referring to, let's get into today's video.
New numbers out this morning detailing how Americans feel and think President Biden is handling his job in the Oval Office right now. 41%, take a look right there, of Americans approve. Nearly 60% are disapproving of how Biden is handling the job. CNN's Harry Enton is here with much more on this. It's not just the number as it stands right there, Harry. For you, it's always how it stacks up against history of other presidents.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, the only one who was noticeably worse was Jimmy Carter. You know, we always said Donald Trump had such a low approval rating, right? But if you look, what you see is that Donald Trump's approval rating was actually slightly larger than Joe Biden's was at this point. Trump was at 43%. Biden is at just 41%. So he's doing worse than Trump, who he was always saying was doing so poorly. And I'll note the reason why that his approval rating is so low at this point is because it comes down to the economy. If you look at Joe Biden's approval on the economy right now, it stinks. It is well below 40%. You see it there, 37% approval on the economy. And that's the top issue in our poll. So I don't think it's much of a surprise.
Well, guys, would you take a look at that? Approve, 37%. I still don't know how people is approving that. But 63% disapprove. But a lot of people on the left will tell me, or not even tell me in my comments. I see it on Joe Biden comments. You're doing a great job, Mr. President. There's no way the left could be that delusional. We paid way more for groceries now than we have ever paid in how long? You guys remember what gas prices was when Trump was in office? You remember that, right? I just can't comprehend it. Like, they would just totally ignore the facts of what's really happening in the economy and tell the president he's doing a great job in the comments. It gotta be bots. There's no way, no human being is gonna look at the economy right now and tell the president you're doing a great job.
If you are thinking on the issue that's most important to the American public, that your approval rating also stinks.
The timing of the poll is important as well. This is polled through the month of July. This is also as there's been a slew of good reports on the economy that's been coming in. That must be a real head scratcher for the Biden team.
I think it is a real head.
There's no way she just said good reports. What was I just saying before, guys? His supporters got to be delusional. And she just came on here. Well, you see, they can't give all bad news. They got to try to sugarcoat it a little bit with a little bit of good in there. And she's like, Biden administration team is scratching their heads. You know she lying. Look at her. She looks nervous. You can tell she's lying. Look at her hands. She's nervous. She knows she's lying. Why are you lying for? Pull up those stats. Let's see it right now. Why she got to be lying for? You know you're lying. You remember what gas was when you go to no, gas by me is still almost $4 a gallon. When Trump was there, we spent like $2 I go to the grocery store now, I used to spend like about, like $2.50. Now for me to get a good order with food, and instead of having coupons or shopping around for good prices, man, you're talking about like $4.50. Easy. So what is she talking about? I don't understand. She just can't tell the truth. Like, this is one thing I don't like about CNN. They just did the same thing with Donald Trump when Trump left the office and Biden took over. Biden took over. So it was 6-8 months later. They were still talking about what Trump did, not what the current president was doing with everything that had to do with the vaccines and stuff like that. They won't cover none of that. They were still talking about Donald Trump. The world is falling apart in America. They were still talking about Donald Trump. This is not fair news. This is bias. This is a straight bias. So that's why I don't really watch CNN like that. I really don't. Because there's no way you were still talking about the ex-president over the current president. What? You guys remember what was going on? People were getting fired. Nurses was getting fired off their job. Police officers. They wasn't covering none of that. They were still talking about Trump.
Scratcher, and it's just something we've seen. Even as the economy's gotten better, Joe Biden's overall approval rating and his approval rating on the economy really hasn't gotten much better. But the thing I'll note, inflation, yes, it's down compared to a year ago, but compared to 2 years ago, it's still way up. So I think people are taking the longer range view than just the shorter one over the last year.
And again, it's such a personal issue how you feel, how your economy is, how your personal economy is, and that's what voters have to look at and have to deal with. But also on in this poll, people are also asked who they trust more on the handling of major issues. This really sticks out.
Yeah, it does. You know, they asked congressional Republicans or the President of the United States, and we know congressional approval rating tends to be very, very low.
Yeah, like in the tank. I mean, like you can say it without even looking at the latest poll.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Mass murderers sometimes have greater approval ratings than Congress. But what we see here is that more people actually trust congressional Republicans than President Biden on the most important issues of the day. And this, to me, is a very worrying sign for the president going into the presidential election year, because the fact is, if he's doing this poorly against congressional Republicans, imagine how he might do against a presidential candidate from the Republican side.
That's a really interesting number.
That's absolutely kind of scary that they actually trust the congressional Republicans over the current president. That is scary. That's how bad this dude is doing. Listen to his speech. How could you sit there and still cheer this man on? Like, there's no way possible. The dude can barely give a full sentence. It is scary to what they're actually doing. And there's a few things that Trump actually said. Listen, nobody in the political game hands is clean. I'll be honest with you. Nobody hands is clean. Nobody. The way they had the spotlight, that's like what they did with Trump when January 6th happened. And in 2020, remember they run Trump's name through the mud. Trump this, Trump that, Trump. How come they never talk about Biden, Hillary Clinton, Obama? I'm pretty sure their hands are dirty. There's no way all of their hands are clean, and Trump is the only one with his hands dirty and everything. There's no way. Well, we all know something. There's one thing I like about Trump, and a lot of you guys like about Trump. One thing about Trump, he don't bite his tongue. He tells it like it is. And listen to what he had to say.
The Biden crime family was taking in money from China, Ukraine, Russia, and so many other countries, and now every time more Biden corruption is exposed, his henchmen indict me because they want to knock out the bad publicity. You ever see? Whenever they have something big happening, they put another indictment or a special indictment. It's called a cover-up, and what they do is illegal and horrible. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a truly great badge of honor, because I'm being indicted for you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Lee Greenwood. Never forget, our enemies want to stop us because we are the ones and the only ones that are able to stop them. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. It's very simple. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. In the end, they're not after me, they're after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way, and I will never leave. I will never let them do that. And I promise you this, if you put me back in the White House, their reign will be over, and America will be a free nation once again. We're not a free nation.
There you have it, guys. You heard it from the man himself, right out his mouth. And so true to what Trump has said. Because they act like Trump is the baddest of all bad. He's doing the most corruption. His hands is the dirtiest. Meanwhile, all the money is just going to Ukraine like this. Where's all that money going? We got homeless people here in America. No. They needed more in Ukraine. Hold on. They want to take away your freedom. Remember what the IRS was going to do, but they put a pause on that for now, right? They paused that. They might was going to be checking everybody's account. I think it has to be over $600 transaction or money coming into your account. They're going to start tracking where that money's coming from. So if you have a little side job, and you have a little side job, you're off the books, and you put a little money in there, they want to track that too and tax that. That's what Trump was talking about. They want to take away all your rights and your freedom. That's scary. They pretty much want to be in all. You have no private life then. You're involved with our kids at home. If we don't do certain things, if our kids want to change our gender, we got to go along with it. We can't say certain things in public. You're getting censored. That pretty much taking away all your rights and freedom. Even if you're just telling the truth, you already know. But I'd love to hear you guys think about this in the comments. People are waking up. The left, people can't remain and fall for the same dumb tricks over and over and over. A lot of people still are, but a lot of people are waking up to the nonsense. It was only a matter of time. Like, how long they think they were going to keep pulling this off? Like, how long? It was only a matter of people are watching like, but you just said Joe Biden took a bribe under Obama, $5 million. What happened with that? Why you keep talking about Trump? Well, Hunter Biden. What's going on with all this extra? What's going on with all that? What's going on with this money from China you're talking about? Ukraine? That's all under the Obama Biden administration. No, all we hearing is Trump. All we hearing is Trump. Man, this political game is so corrupted. It's just unbelievable. And they're scared of Trump. That's why they don't want him in there. You guys remember what Trump was doing when he was in office? He was putting everybody on blast, and they couldn't handle that. They wanted people to keep sucking us dry. You know, the middle class people. Suck us dry while they get rich. And everything we vote for goes right out the window. You know what's funny about all of this? That they ain't realizing, like, all these indictments they're putting on Trump and more spotlight they're putting on Trump, it's making him more popular. You see his popularity is growing, right? You've seen his popularity growing. I seen a lot of black people in the comments saying, we want Joe Biden out of here. Everywhere you go. People are saying they'd rather have Trump in there. Illegals coming. You guys see it. It's just chaos right now. But I'd love to hear you guys think in the comments about all this that's going on. Trump hands is not dirty alone. If you're calling Trump out, you need to call the rest of them out. Enough of that. Keep it fear across the board. But then again, we know they don't ever play fear. But hey, until then, I catch you guys next video, man. Peace out. You guys have a blessed day.